Hello, Divine Feminines. Okay, so we're going to get straight into it. So, our messages today, when I was premeditating on today's energies, I saw a pineapple. And pineapples talk about divine wisdom, virility, as well as when we think of pineapples, pineapples are sweet, right? They're tropical, they're sweet. So think of like that they're exotic. So I definitely feel like we're getting into that sort of like energy today and for the rest of this week, where we are tapping into our divine wisdom. Okay, and if you've watched the Divine Masculine Message to the Divine Feminine reading that I uploaded just before this one, it talks about I talk a lot about not only our divine masculines being extremely passionate towards us. There's a lot of passion in today's energies for us too, but also, you know, both of us wanting to really get back to the self. So that's tapping into the divine wisdom there with the pineapples. I also saw paintbrushes. So instantly I got creating. So when you paint on a canvas, right, you're creating something. Even if it's nothing, it's a sense of change. You've made a blank canvas different. Okay. So using like making, okay, make something. I definitely feel like we're going to be really getting into the energy of making and creating this week. So creativity isn't just, you know, music, art, you know, the arts, right? It isn't, that's not what creativity is. You can be creative in a bunch of different things. You might be decorating the home or changing something in the room, or doing something that feels like a sense of soul expression. This is all about expression this week. So how are you going to be creative? How are you going to be expressing yourself this week? I feel like that's how we sort of focus on getting back to the self. I also saw the rune Gebel, which is like an X, right? And this is talking about the exchange, okay? The Gebel rune talks about exchange, give and take, giving without expectation, okay? And we tapped into that on yesterday's reading too for the week. It talks about giving not in hopes of receiving back, but giving because you that's what you want to do. And it's sort of, and when we talk about sending like kiss, 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 that's the Gebel rune, okay? So that's a lot about kisses. And it's funny that that sort of came up because next I saw a lipstick, which signifies to me passion, okay? So when you put on lipstick, you often feel passionate, or you often feel like you feel sexy, you feel beautiful, things like that. So put on some lipstick this week. What else have we got? I might do that after this actually. We've got, okay, so with the, when I was looking up the further meanings of the Gebel rune, what does it say? It said, we are bonded by love, and I thought it was beautiful because I wanted to share. We are bonded by love. I bond us by love. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. That's what the symbol of it says. Okay, so maybe, and it looks like this. So gift, promise, exchange. So it's the promise of love, the promise of being. That's what the divine feminines are giving to the divine masculines. The promise of love. We're giving without expectation. We know, because we know that we're going to get it back. We're not expecting it back. We know that we get it back, because the more that we give to ourselves, we're giving to our masculine. The more that we give to our masculine, we're giving to ourselves. So this is absolutely beautiful. The reward for effort and altruistic giving with no expectation of reward. It signifies a relationship between sender and the recipient. Gebel seals a promise you want to make, fidelity to a partner, support for a child. The commitments we make and the way in which we honor them build love and trust with family and community. Gebel seals contracts and demands that promises are honored. So it means gift, rich meanings, exchange, promises, partnership, and reciprocity. All right, beautiful. I also saw the number in the message from the divine feminine to the divine masculine. I also saw 111, okay, so it's 1:36 right now, so at 1:11 I saw it. And then golf, okay, so hole in one. Okay, let me look up spiritual meaning of golf. I forgot about that, sorry. Can be symbolic of freedom. So if you have felt restrained by someone or something, it might be time to allow yourself some distance between you and whatever it is that is holding you back. Okay, and I feel like this is also really talking about restraint from ourselves. So freedom. Sorry guys, hang on. Okay, so freedom. I just had this is a really big message. So the day that my counterpart and I really bonded was we because you guys know we started off as best friends, and then we stayed up all night. We were at a friend's house. We were just like partying back in the shed, and I don't think we were continuing drinking or anything like that, but we were just hanging out, and we stayed up all night. And because the shed was dark, we didn't realize the time. And someone came in, and all this sunlight came in the room, and we were like, oh, what time is it? Like, we were just hanging out, like, it was the middle of winter, we were just freezing, but we were just like sitting on the lounge, just all of us just having a good time. And I feel like George and I really bonded that night. The next day, the boys had planned a golf day, and the boys ended up asking all the girls if they wanted to come too. So we had no sleep, but we just ended up going golf. And we always say golf day was the day that we sort of really, really solidified our friendship and solidified our connection. Even though it hadn't been romantic yet and there wasn't any romantic feelings, it was a day where I felt the most carefree. So I'm going to meditate more on golf day, but golf, talking about freedom, okay? So think back to the times right up before you met your masculine, and I can almost guarantee those who are resonating with me and this collective, you're really going through this time now where you are experiencing sort of like, I want to get back to me. I want to get back to that feeling. And when you try to sort of like put your finger on when that moment changed, or how, or what it was that you were sort of doing that got you into that, it's really hard. It's really hard to pinpoint that. It's funny because the moon is currently today in Leo right now. I'm a Leo rising. George has his Leo in the 7th house and his North Node. So, and also the period of time in which we met, it was Leo season. So definitely getting into the Leo energies. Try and channel the energies of Leo today, Divine Feminines, okay? Beautiful. What I'm going to do is we're going to pull some cards. All right, Spirit Team, thank you for these messages. Where some messages for the Divine Feminines today, please. Divine Feminine Collective. Let's get 3 cards. Okay, we've got a few more than 3, but I feel like we'll take them. Let me just get these all set up. So we've got the 4 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Okay, so straight away, before I've even tuned in, I can definitely see that we have been very, very committed to our journey. We've been very, very committed to our masculines, but also to the connection. And I feel like that's what, wow, okay, that's what it has been from the beginning. As soon as we sort of awoken to the fact that this person is our person, it hit us like a ton of bricks, and that sort of caused us to go into a serious mode, to take things seriously, because in the past, having fun with someone that we were interested in only ever really amounted to failure. I never really went anywhere, okay? So we've been really, really, really focused, really committed, and the responsibility, okay, so it's like we were having this like fun energy, right? And it was really hard. It's almost as though we felt a sense of responsibility. Look at this, it's the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. Joy, okay, because this is what the 6 of Cups talks about. In this deck, this is the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck by Matt Hughes. There's some really awesome like meanings, like the meanings in this deck, the way they've sort of like put this, amazing. It really gives me sort of a bit more insight than just the regular meanings of the cards that I know. So I'm just going to look at the Six of Cups here for you guys. Innocence, nostalgia, joy, reunion. And the Seven of Cups is illusion, imagination, unrealistic desires, and possibilities. So I feel like I'm having a breakthrough here. It was so fun. It was so lighthearted. There was so much joy. It felt like we were coming back to ourselves. How do I explain that? I don't know if this is the same for the rest of you feminines, but for me, I feel like I've never really had that friend. I've never found that friend that's like me. And for the first time when I met George, that was what it was like for me. And it was really, really strange because I was getting a best friend and a life partner in one, and a soulmate in one, and a twin flame in one. And it was just really, I think maybe subconsciously I sort of took that as like, okay, well, I have to treat this well. I have to be very careful about what I do. So I can't mistreat someone because I have this carefree attitude. I need to get rid of the carefree attitude, and I need to look out for threats and make sure that I am getting rid of any threats. So I feel like Divine Feminines, this is really us awakening to the fact that this is how we have been. We've been in this committed energy, and commitment doesn't mean that we don't have to, that we can't have fun, that we can't enjoy ourselves, that we can't be ourselves. There's something about, there's a blockage here, Divine Feminines, hear me out. There's a blockage here about being yourself means, that being yourself means that you're reckless. And that's not true. Being ourselves is what brought us our masculine. It was the right time for us to meet our masculine. So now we're taking off the mask. Look at this. Taking off the mask, okay, and seeing that it's an illusion, okay, leaving that behind. Seven of Cups, illusions. Once we take off the mask, we get to the Eight of Cups. We're walking away. We're leaving the illusions, and we're starting fresh. We understand now. We have that divine wisdom, the pineapple, right? Let's get 3 cards. 3 more tarot cards, please, Spirit Team, for the Divine Feminines in relation to what we're sort of discovering here. Okay, we've got 5, and that's what we've got here. So we've got the 5 of Swords, the Moon, okay, the 2 of Swords, the 10 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. This is very much talking, look at this. Okay, this is definitely our Divine Masculine here. Self-discovery, they're learning something new. And look, they're understanding. They're realizing this too. And I feel like they've sort of done the same. Now it's time to put that to rest. Remove the responsibility. Allowing ourselves to be more carefree. For a long time, we've been really, really blocked from seeing the truth of this. We couldn't see. The illusions are now, the moon talks about illusions too. The illusions, with the 7 of Cups and the moon, are now being, the mask is coming off, and we're now realizing that it's time for this to go. That this is only pushing each other away. We're not living completely authentically to ourselves, and now look what can come in as a result. Complete and total emotional fulfillment, as well as a new beginning. And we've got the Ace of Cups, we've got the Four of Wands here too, that showed up in the Divine Masculine message to the Divine Feminine. So what we're saying is the Divine Feminines are saying to the Divine Masculines, if you're a Divine Masculine watching, I see now, I understand. Because it felt so, The connection felt so important and so distinct to me. I felt as though I had to take it very seriously. And that came from a place of lack. That came from a place of fear, a place of feeling as though we had to lock it down so it didn't get away. And, you know, don't blame us for that, because in our past, we've never been able to, and I know that the Divine Masculines don't, but this is what we're saying to them, like, please don't hold that against me. I didn't know any better. I was coming from a place of wow, okay, sheltering the connection of the way that a parent shelters a child. And when you shelter a connection and you don't give it space to grow and to flourish and to express itself, it becomes stagnant. We're also going to get 3 of these. And 3 of these Whispers of Love. More. This one. Okay. All right, so for the Moonology deck we have, wow, okay, this is amazing. We got this in the Divine Masculine reading too this morning. Okay, so believe in the impossible. This is what we're saying to the Divine Masculine. So I feel like as well, our Divine Masculines are sort of sensing like, they're feeling like something is missing in the connection. And I feel like it's not coming from like a place of us. I feel like it's coming from a place of them. Because that's what we've been focusing on too. Like we're feeling like, oh, you know, like why can't things go back to the way they were? And when we think deeper, it's, oh, I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like my best self that I did when we first got together. So it's getting back to that. And this is the path to union. We're constantly in union, but I feel like part of the twin flame journey is where we, you know, most people at this point give up. This is where most relationships break down, because they don't have this awareness and they don't understand. So this is our purpose. This is why we're here, to help. We're here to do that work and to go through that. Find why there is a disconnect, find why there is a separation, get to the root of it, cure it, and then so it can continue to grow and come back together, and we can continue to sort of fuel that. That's what Twin Flames Divine Counterparts are here for. Be bold and make the first move. What do you need to release? And this is exactly what we're doing. We're saying to the Divine Masculines, we're on this, and we know that you're not far behind us. Trust that. Get back to continue to focus on what it is that makes you light up like that. And for me, it's when I allow myself to be seen, when I allow myself to shine, when I don't hold that back. I also have love who you are. This is what we got in yesterday's reading. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving of all the wonderful things that life has to offer. Have patience. Love is patient and kind always. Rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take breaks. And that's exactly what we've done. And I feel like the disconnect or separation for some of you, that's what has been happening. But for those who are still in physical connection, okay, physically together, there's no breakup or anything like that, but there is just sort of an energetic disconnect. Don't be so hard. Don't be hard on yourself, Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines, because this break is exactly what we've needed. That disconnect is exactly what we've needed. We've needed to learn to have patience. Love is patient. Love is kind. Okay? And look at this, inner child. Okay? Being patient and kind with each other too. Okay? Because now we can finally allow ourselves to love who it is that we are, and to understand what parts of ourselves that we have been holding back, and how we can how we can get that back. So for each of you, it's going to look different. But now that you have this awareness, set the intention with your guides to have them, to help them show you exactly where you need to go and what you need to do that is going to get you back into that energy. You know exactly what energy I'm talking about, that feeling. The feeling that you feel, that you know, that feels like the highest expression of yourself, but you can't identify. You can't identify what it is or how it is, okay? How it is that you tap into that. We are at our best when we balance all aspects of our lives. Love yourself and the people in your life enough to create an environment that allows everyone the opportunity to take care of their needs. When we are rested, we are at our best and able to fully appreciate all that life offers. And I feel like the Divine Masculines were so caught up in taking care, the role of taking care of the feminine. And the thing is, and the way that has shown up for the feminine is, they were so caught up on making sure that, I guess, taking care as well. Nurturing and cultivating the connection so that it can grow. They were both so caught up and focused on doing that for the last 18 months. For the last however long you guys have actually been knowing each other for. When that wasn't what was needed. That was always going to be there. That fundamental, that was always going to be a natural thing that occurred within the relationship. But the thing that we identified as what drew us to our counterpart in the first place is the thing that we needed to hold on to, the thing that we needed to cultivate. It was right there from the beginning. It was showing us this, how you feel, how this person makes you feel, how you feel in this person's presence. That is the thing that you need to continue to grow, because that is going to bring you to your highest self, to your highest potential, them as well. But also, when you guys are there, you can continue mission, okay? Work towards having patience. If you are lacking patience with others, remember that they are human and different from you. If the impatience has to do with an outcome, your prayers will be answered. Be a little more patient at this time. And I feel like that's exactly what we've been doing. And this is the Divine Feminines telling the Divine Masculines, hey, we're being patient, we've been patient. Now that we understand what's going on, we can sort of be a little bit more patient and release it a little bit more. The only time we try to control is when we feel like there's something to lose. And look at this, I just noticed this. On the 10 of Cups, here's the X. That's Roman numeral for 10, right? But it just brought my attention there. Partnership, reciprocity. Let's go to love who you are. Be your own advocate. Believe in yourself. Love who you are, and the energy of self-love will help you to realize your dreams. When was the last time you gave yourself a pat on the back or acknowledged that you love yourself? Working on a good relationship with yourself will enable you to have a positive relationship with others. And that's exactly what we're doing. And this is exactly what the Divine Feminines is telling the Divine Masculines today. We want you to love who you are. You are a divine and wonderful being, deserving of all the wonderful thing that life has to offer. And the reason why we're telling them that today is because we realize that for ourselves today. So we're somewhat leading by example here. And we're releasing the need. We're being bold and making the first move by releasing the need to put on a mask, or to step into a certain role, or to have a certain role, a certain persona in the relationship, in the connection, in our lives overall. And that is going to be, we're spiritually seeking the answer to that, so that the masculine can spiritually sense that energy and do that themselves. Once it clicks for us, it clicks for them. All right, guys, I hope this helped. I will see you in my next video. Let me know if you have any questions, or what kind of decks you would like me to see me use. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram for daily twin flame messages, and I will see you later.